Alright, so today we're going to be reviewing the Cana kit. So I basically picked up a Raspberry Pi 4 basic starter kit with clear case, the edition with 4 gigs of RAM, and it's from Cana Kit, so www.canakit.com. So zoom in there. I mean, I'll have a link to this I'll have a link to the corresponding article on my page in the description of the video, and from there I'll have links to Cana Kit and to the actual product on Amazon. I picked this up on Amazon, so I'll have a link to it there. Anyways, so I also bought this micro SD card. Let's see, let's zoom in on, or not zoom in, but move the card closer so you can see it. Yeah, so I bought this because this specific kit actually is not supposed to come with an SD card. I'm going to move this to the side. We're not going to actually look at it anymore in this video. But yeah, this specific kit that I picked out, I mean, you can get them with SD cards, but it ended up not being the best deal, like based on what you get. And I just compared everything and ended up deciding to get a kit that doesn't have an SD card. And so I bought an extra SD card on the side. I forget my rationale, if it was that I saved like $1 or something, or if it was just that the kit without the SD card had some other things that I wanted. I forget the reasoning and the rationale, because I bought this a couple weeks back, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's open this up and see what's inside. Alright, so there we go. There is, that's the inside of the box. I should probably take a picture of that. Let's see here. Now, one thing that stands out, because actually I guess this is like a standard Raspberry Pi thing, they have the pinout. The first thing that I notice here, normally I just ignore all the papers and stuff that they send me, but they actually gave me this this nice pinout. So the last unboxing I did of my Raspberry Pi Zero was from a company called Vilros, if I'm saying that right, and they had a little card like this with the pinout too. Now apparently Cana Kit also does that, but yeah, this is pretty great. This is a great reference to have around. I'll probably like pin this to my wall or something. But yeah, that's a nice extra thing they did just to give it an extra touch or whatever. This came with a lot of accessories that I don't need too much. Let's see, so there's a read me first thing about the HDMI port. I'm not going to go over that here, but we'll probably take a picture of that and post it on our site that you'll see on the link in the description. So follow the link in the description for pictures of this and our write-up of this and all of that other great stuff. So this video will actually end up being embedded on the page on our website. So here we have the this would be the HDMI cable. So let's see, I don't know if I can get a good angle for that, but yeah, anyway, mini or micro or whatever HDMI to normal HDMI. Throw that to the side too. And let's see here. Let's open this up, because this is the actual Raspberry Pi. So this is it. Let's pop this thing open. And yeah, I just tore the box, unfortunately. Alright, so open this up. This is the actual Pi itself. It's actually surprisingly hard to find them by themselves. I'm sure you can. I just haven't done a ton of looking. So it comes with a user manual. We're not going over that today, but it does include an actual user manual, which is great and all, but I'll probably actually look at it. And what else? Alright, it has a little card telling you what to do and what not to do. Don't make it too hot. Don't, yeah, be careful of static electricity, all that stuff. So let's get a close-up of the actual Pi itself. So yeah, this is my first Raspberry Pi 4. Let's see, try to get this at the right angle in the light. Yeah, so Raspberry Pi 4. I have I believe I have a Raspberry Pi 3B, and I have a couple original Raspberry Pi 1Bs. But yeah, this is my first 4. Smaller SD card slot. Yeah, I'm used to actually holding and looking at the original Raspberry Pi. This is a little different. Let's see what else is in here. Yeah, all the standard stuff you'd expect: the USB ports, the Ethernet. Yeah, this processor just there's a lot more metal on top of this because I guess you're just meant to put the heat sink on it, which we're going to do. Not in this video. I'm going to have a video where I put the heat sink on. One interesting thing I'll point out, this is kind of getting off on a tangent, you can tell, one quick way to tell versions of Raspberry Pis apart. The very original ones had fewer GPIO pins. Everyone after that has the same number, so you couldn't tell this apart from a 3 or 2 as far as I know. Based on the pins, you could tell it apart based on other features. But yeah, so there you go. It looks like dual HDMI, and I actually have 2 of those mini HDMI cables, so I could power 2 monitors. And this, I believe, is power. This is your USB-C port, your 3.5 millimeter jack for your headphones. You can stick a little ribbon cable in here. I believe this is, and probably here too. I will have to look at that, but I'll put a full review with everything else on my on the site and the link in the description. So yeah, this is the Raspberry Pi 4 Model B. I guess made in 2018 according to that label there. I would have to look at the actual time that it was actually released. That might just be when it was that's just when it was copyrighted. Anyway, yeah, looks like this is labeled as display. What else? And camera, yeah, so this is for the camera. This little this is where you'd stick the ribbon for the camera in. And yeah, this is where you put your SD card. So yeah, that's that. That's the actual Pi itself. Now, what else are we going to go over here? We have a case. So I didn't even care that much about the cases. I just wanted to make sure I had everything to get it working, just to do some experimentation. But all the kits that come with, like, you can't even buy it itself, and you're going to need the SD card and the charger and stuff. So when any kit that comes with all of that is going to come with the with a case and everything anyways, which is fine. I guess it does need some case. It doesn't need a case, but you're going to want to put it in something. So yeah, here's the case. This is a pretty nice case. Yep, there's the top, there's the bottom. Little raspberry symbol. It says CanaKit on it. Little vent on the bottom here, little feet on it. My original Raspberry Pis, I came without a case. I bought them as soon as you could when they came out. My first 2, you could only order 1 per customer when they first came out, and I bought 2 of them. You could buy 2 by ordering. You could order from 2 different companies, so I bought 1 from each company, and they came without a case. So this one does come with a case. Yeah, I spent more than what the Raspberry Pi itself would cost. But yeah, because it's harder to find it by itself. Anyways, let's see here. We have this. So here are the heat sinks. Now, I had thought there were only 2, but it looks like it comes with 3 of these. So you have one big one for your CPU or your all-in-one chip or whatever, and there are the other chips that are also going to get something. One is probably an I/O chip or something, like the equivalent of a Northbridge or Southbridge or what, I don't know actually for sure. But we're going to actually go over that in a separate video. We're going to install these heat sinks in a separate video and talk all about what they're for, and we're going to talk about, we're just going to show how to install the heat sinks. And they have like their own little Arctic Silver, similar to Arctic Silver. It's not Arctic Silver, but this little stuff. You peel the sticker off and just stick it on. You don't have to put any thermal paste on. They're like little thermal pads or whatever. So there's that. What else? Oh, that's nice. I forgot this was even in here. It comes with this nice little fan. We're definitely going to make use of this. This is pretty neat. And let's pull this out and take a look. Alright, so yeah, there it is, this tiny little fan. This just makes the whole thing really neat. Having something this size with a tiny little fan on it is going to be pretty neat. I mean, that's just neat. That's pretty cool. It looks like you can mount the fan right in here. So this case is actually designed to hold the fan. So yeah, without this case, that would be a whole lot harder to mount the fan. So that is a nice touch right there. Yeah, so pretty good kit overall. Missing the SD card, no big deal. I think I spent like very little on that. And I just ordered it and it all came together anyways. So this is the power supply. I'm wondering if it comes with a switch on it. That's the key thing that I'm looking for, and it looks like it does not. So here's a nice big heavy thing here. So yeah, as small as the Raspberry Pi is, you got to consider the whole setup is going to include the size of this big thing, which is fine, I guess. USB-C, so Usbc charger. Important to keep in mind that yeah, you do need enough amperage and everything to power these. Not enough amperage, they will not power up right. That's a whole nother issue by itself. That's a big issue people run into. You can't just get any USB-C charger and charge it without having enough power, or you'll run into issues. It might not boot up, or if it does, you'll have under voltage issues. Yeah, you'll just run into trouble. So and we're gonna do a whole separate video on that too. But yeah, here it is. Let's zoom in on, not zoom in, but move closer to this, and there we go. Yeah, this is, yeah, only problem with this, no switch on it, which is not too bad. I'm actually not that familiar with the newest Pi. This does not come with a switch on it, I don't believe. So yeah, you would have to power it down through the interface, through the command line, or through a through the GUI or whatever, or buy a separate switch or so, or just unplug it. I mean, you don't want to unplug it when the OS is running, but the point is, to power it on, you would have to, like, you know, pull the plug out and plug it back in. So like, say if you had shut the system down but it's still plugged in, you'd have to pull the plug out and plug it back in. As far as I know, I could be totally wrong. And I guess I spoke too soon. The last component in here, besides the manual, besides the quick start manual, is exactly what we need. It's a switch. So this does come with a switch, and I feel like my camera's not getting a good angle on that in the lighting, but there we go. Looks like that is pretty great. So that's USB-C right there, and a USB-C port. So you basically just put this in line with your power adapter, so it doesn't come as all one thing, which is nice if you don't want it. Gives you some flexibility. You can attach that, and there you go. There's your power adapter with a switch, so you can switch it on when you need to. It's a little push button switch. It's the Pi switch. It's CanaKit Pi switch. So that is pretty nice. That is pretty terrific. I was a little worried we weren't going to have anything for this. I was going to have to come up with some solution. What else do we have here? We have a little quick start guide, which is nice. We're not going to go over that here, but it's all terrific and everything. So, oh yeah, it tells you how to, like, blink a LED, and that is pretty great. That's great to get a quick start on actually doing things. So what else? Yeah, this is pretty excellent. And I guess that's about it. That's everything that came in the box. Box is now empty, and yeah, so let's get a shot of, like, everything all together, not the manuals or anything. I'm just going to throw all this stuff over here. So no manuals or cards or anything else. I'm just going to put this thing right here. Put these over here. This over here like this, and there we go. So we got our switch and everything else that comes in the, yeah, so there we go. There's the entire kit all together in one piece, and, you know, one shot. That's everything you get. So, you know, along with the quick start manual and this nice little pinout guide. So that's a pretty good kit. It'll get you going, minus the SD card, which you'll have to install your own OS on. No big deal. It's super ridiculously easy. You can go to the Raspberry Pi website, download Raspbian or Noobs. Noobs is it's still easy. You just, like, drag it over and, like, basically unpack it on your SD card. Whereas they have a Raspbian installer that it can install Raspbian or any number of other images. They have a whole list of, like, third-party images you can install on your Raspberry Pi, which we're going to try a bunch of those. And they have that, and they have they have Raspbian. So their installer, you just download the installation tool for whether you're running Linux, OS X, or Windows. It'll work on any of those. You can download the installation tool, and you open it up, and it'll pull down the images for you if you want. You just select the image you want it to pull down. It'll pull it down for you. And you select the card you want it to write to, and it just writes to the card for you. So it basically does everything for you. And like, I mean, it's just really, really easy these days. It's not like in the old days that you had to download some extra tool on Windows and make sure you and download the images separately, which was still pretty easy, I guess. I remember I was writing to it from Linux, and you'd had to use the dd command with the right parameters, like the correct block size and stuff, and make sure you're writing to the exact correct device. You still have to write to the correct device, but it's going to be harder to accidentally write to your hard drive or something. But basically, you can just use their tool, and it almost magically does everything for you. That said, yeah, I think that's everything we have to cover today. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to cut the video off right here. If you found this video useful or interesting, feel free to give us a thumbs up. Like and subscribe. It really helps out a lot. If you want to know when a new video comes out, just click the little bell icon. If you didn't like the video, just leave a comment letting me know what you thought. Let me know what you did or didn't like. Positive or negative, I want to hear it all. Just let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. And as always, I hope you enjoyed watching this video.